Hi everyone, welcome to my video. In this video, I'll be sharing how to move around in the game, how to move your block explorer and travel between cities. There are a few buttons that you need to get yourself familiarized with. The first button is the chess piece icon over here. When you click on it, it will zoom to where your block explorer is. Block explorer is your character in the game. You can click on it and you can see the properties nearby and how many cents you have. There is a discovery range that allows you to mint properties, collect cents, and look at treasure hints. You can see that behind my block explorer, there is a trail or a shadow. That is the path that you leave behind. It appears when you start moving and disappears after a while. You can see it gets lighter and lighter, and eventually these properties will not be in the discovery range after a while. Next is the pin icon over here. What this does is it toggles on and off the location grids and the neighborhood boundaries. So if I zoom out further, if I have it toggled on, it will show me the boundaries and the name of each neighborhood. If I toggle them off, it will be gone. So why this is useful is it allows you to look at which areas are in play. For example, if your block explorer ventures out over here, there are no properties nearby you. Your block explorer moves around randomly and its direction cannot be controlled. You can, however, make use of sands to move to properties within the same city as defined by Upland. If you click on your block explorer, there's a paper airplane icon to the right. If you click on that, the number shows the number of cents you have left. You can only send your block explorer to a minted property, so it can either be your own or someone else's, but you cannot send it to an unminted property. You have to pay a visit fee if you visit someone else's property. This fee can range from 5 UPX to 100 UPX in multiples of 5, and it is adjustable by the owner of the property. Send fees vary by city with its own maximum and minimum thresholds for send fees. For example, Auckland, which is where I'm currently at, has a send fee of 10 UPX to 50 UPX. But if you send it to your own property, it's free. Everyone has 3 base cents that is rechargeable every 24 hours. You start the game with 11 cents. You can collect up to 8 additional cents from paper planes that are spawned randomly around the city. The collected cents will be used up first. Once your base cents are used, it will take 24 hours for each base cent to recharge, and your total cents that you can hold will drop according as well until your base cent is recharged. I have actually utilized all of my base cents, and the maximum I can hold will be 8 for now until it is recharged. How do you find paper airplanes? You can look around in the map. I'll share with you another tip. So this is property card, and at the top you see a paper plane with a UPX fee. This is actually the visitor fee or the send fee that you need to pay if you send it to my property. Because this is my own property, if I send it here, it's free. So as my block explorer moves towards the paper airplane, once it's in the discovery range, I can click on it to collect the send. So it says that I have collected 2 cents. Now I have 5 cents. What is the most efficient way for you to look for these paper aeroplanes? There are tools that you can use in Discord. This Discord channel is called Meta Maps. It allows you to look at where the paper aeroplanes are. They'll show me the outline of the city. I'm in Auckland now. If you're in other cities, you can always click on them to see the other cities. It's advisable for you to switch on the location grid so that it matches your map and you know where to go. A tip will be to look for hotspots and locations where they are conjugated together, like this or like this. Yeah, these are good examples because you will be using a send and paying a send fee to look for these paper aeroplanes. Try to go to locations where you can collect more than one paper aeroplane for that trip. So I will want to go to this location over here. I have to remember the shape or the outline. When I go to my map, I'll look for the outline of this somewhere in the middle. So what I'll do is I'll scroll for the paper aeroplanes. Here's one, but because it's on its own, so I will not want to spend the send and the send fee just to go over to collect this one. There's one over here, there's one over here, but because they are quite far apart and I cannot control my block explorer, so I can't move it upwards to here. It's by luck. You can toggle your zoom so you can cover a bigger area. So this is a good spot. What I'll do is I'll send it to the middle. So if you see the send fee over here, the visitor fee is 50 UPX. It's the maximum for Auckland, which I'm not willing to pay. So I'll look for one that's maybe cheaper. So 20 UPX is the default visitor fee. Sometimes you can find 10 UPX, 15 UPX. If not, then you can just send to one that has the default send rate. So I will press send. I'll have to use 20 UPX and one of my cents. So after I reach there, I will have only 4 cents left. And now that I'm here, I have 4 cents left. I can click on this because it's in my discovery range. So I have 2 cents and 2 cents to reach 8 cents. So just now I mentioned that I have used up my base cents. If I happen to go past paper aeroplanes, I cannot collect them. They will say that I have reached my limit of collected cents. If I were to send my block explorer to another paper plane, for example, if I send it here, I will keep collecting 1 cent, which recharges the cent that I used to go over there. So if you keep seeing you collect only 1 cent for every paper aeroplane, it means that you have reached your limit. You should stop wasting your UPX and your cent to go over there because you have to wait for your base cent to recharge. Next, traveling between cities. Because you can only send your block explorer within the same city. Currently, I'm in Auckland. If I want to send it to San Francisco, which is another city, let's say I choose this, I want to go to this property. If I click on send, this pop-up message will still appear. However, I will not be able to send it because I'm sending it to another city from where I am. So how do we go to other cities? So for example, you are already bored of Auckland or you find unminted properties that you want to mint in other cities. What you have to do is to take public transportation. When you zoom out enough, you can see these icons like bus, train, plane. So you have to go to this train terminal to travel by train to San Francisco. Be sure to have enough cents so that when you travel to the next city, you are able to send it to another property. If not, you'll be stuck at the terminal sometimes, especially for airport terminals. So if I click on the train terminal, because I'm out of range, they will ask me to send to a terminal. These properties over here are part of the train terminals, which will be open for bidding sometimes when a new city opens up. If they are too expensive, currently they are all 10 UPX, which is the minimum send fee. However, if this all happens to be 50 UPX, you can also send it to a nearby property. Because in order to take the train terminal just needs to be in the discovery range of your block explorer. You will see that there are number of slots remaining when a new city opens up or they expand the city. Sometimes all of the terminals will be zero. Check the surrounding properties and send it there. You can still take the train. For example, if I send it here, 10 UPX will be deducted from my UPX balance, and I also have 1 fewer cent. I can click on the train terminal and this screen will load up. So if I want to go to San Francisco, I have to pay 25 UPX and wait for a duration of 6 minutes. So I click on that, I press confirm. The user interface will show me boarding a train and I'll have to wait for 6 minutes. You are free to do other things. Even on your mobile app, you can do other things. When you reach the destination, they will tell you that you can disembark. So when you press disembark, you'll be in the train terminal of your destination. You can only take the train from Oakland to San Francisco. What happens if you want to go from San Francisco to other cities? You have to take the aeroplane. So you zoom out for the aeroplane icons. So these are different from the paper aeroplane icons. Okay, you can zoom in and choose the terminal that you want to go to. Terminal 3, Terminal 2, and Terminal 1. There are also surrounding terminals. So especially when you're taking aeroplane to other cities, make sure you have enough cents with you because you have to send your Block Explorer to a property. That's the end of my video. You can check out my other videos on treasure hunting and I'll be making more videos as well, so look out for them. If you like the content, do like the video and subscribe. Share this video with your friends to help them understand more about how to move around and what are the tools that you can use. Comment down below to see what other content you wish to see. See you in the next video.